Good day and welcome to news from Mayorkings Studios. I am Queen Success Benjamin. Here are the headlines. Warri monarch's third coronation anniversary begins. Bayelsa reacts to power tower's destruction. Oyo APC chairman dies in US. NLC suspect bugs. Hires forensic experts. There should be sanctions, says MFB president. NNPC battles dipping for scarcity as black market thrives. Ceasefire talk may be last chance to free hostages, says Blinken. Osimhen ready to snub Chelsea for French giants. Now the news in full. The long week celebration of the third coronation anniversary of the Olu of Warri, Ogiame Atuase III, commences today by 11 a.m. being its Monday, August 19, 2024, with praise and worship at Palace Church, Agofeng in Warri, Delta State. The colorful ceremony expected to feature the traditional paying of homage to the Honorable Monarch, play, presentation, novelty football match, as well as presentation of music and poets concert will be rounded off Sunday, August 25th with Thanksgiving service at the Palace Church, Agofeng, Warri, 11 a.m. Meanwhile, detailed outline of the week-long event are as follows. Day 1, Monday 19th August, Praise and Worship, Palace Church, Agofeng, 11 a.m. Tuesday, 20th August, Homage Anniversary Lecture, Play, Palace Auditorium, Agofeng, 12 p.m. Day 3, Wednesday, 21st August, Anniversary Homage. Wednesday, 21st August, Anniversary Homage Paying, Palace Auditorium, Agofeng, 11 a.m. Day 4, Thursday, 22nd August, Takeoff to Big Warri, Warri Boat Yard, 10 a.m. Homage Paying Ode Ishakiri, Big All 12 noon. Play, presentation, Ode Ishakiri, 6 p.m. Day 5, Friday, 23 August, Novelty Match organized by Olori Ladies Ode Ishakiri, Training Ground, 9 a.m. Day 6, Saturday, 24th August, Award to Distinguished Ishakiri's Palace Auditorium, Agofeng, 12 noon. Presentation of music and poets concert for His Majesty Ogiame Atuase III by Royal Iwere Choir, Palace Church, Agofeng, 5 p.m. Day 7, Sunday, 25th August, Thanksgiving service at Palace Church, Agofeng, 11 a.m. The Bayelsa state government says destruction of electric towers is an attack on the social and economic well-being of the residents of the state and sabotage on government's investment drive. The State Commissioner for Information, Orientation and Strategy, Mrs. Ebiwu Kokuabaya, made this known in an interview with the News Agency of Nigeria on Sunday in Yenagoa, the state capital, shortly after an on-the-spot assessment of the ongoing works to re-erect two out of the three collapsed power towers at the Igbogini area of Yenagoa. Bayelsa has been thrown into darkness following the collapse of two transmission towers attacked by vandals. The transmission company of Nigeria stated on Thursday that the two transmission towers T98 and T99 along the Ahoda-Yenagoa 132 kV line were vandalized on July 29 in the Igbo community of Bayelsa State. The TCN said that the incident caused the collapse of both towers, cutting off the power supply to the state, including TCN Yenagoa substation and the Gbarian Power Tower. Kokoabaya advised residents to be vigilant and join forces to maintain surveillance on power installations. She noted that the recent extensive attack on power lines supplying electricity to the state suggests a calculated attempt at making life difficult for Bayelsa residents. The chairman of All Progressive Congress in Oyo State, Isaac Omodewu, has died in the United States of America. The news had exclusively reported that Omodewu left Nigeria in November 2023 for a medical trip. However, he succumbed to death after close to a year receiving treatment for an undisclosed ailment in the USA, where he was a citizen. When contacted by news reporters, the State Publicity Secretary, Olawale Sadere, confirmed the development, saying he was dead. The Nigerian Labour Congress has hired forensic experts to comb its national secretariat in Abuja for possible bugs planted by the police. The union said the forensic security audit would facilitate the return of its workers to their offices following the recent raid by the police. The news reported that security agents on July 7 conducted a night raid on the NLC National Secretariat in Abuja. According to the NLC spokesperson, Benson Upa, the operatives burst into the building at about 8:30 p.m. and arrested the security guards, forcing them to hand over keys to the office on the second floor. The police took responsibility for the operation, saying it was aimed at uncovering incriminating documents that could help build a case against an international subversive figure considered a threat to Nigerian democracy. In an exclusive interview, the National Assistant General Secretary of NLC, Chris Onyenka, said the union had hired foreign experts to comb the office for possible bugs planted by the police. He insisted that the explanation offered by the police was untenable. President of the Middle Belt Forum, MBF, Dr. Pogu Bitrus, has weighed in on the controversy trailing the actual monthly salaries of the Nigerian senators, insisting that the upper legislative lawmakers should be sanctioned for collecting above what was fixed by the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission (RMAFC), and an agency charged with the responsibility of determining the salaries of public servants in Nigeria. In the interview, he spoke on the recent nationwide hunger protest and the call for Nigeria's disintegration by a northern elder, Professor Ango Abdullahi, among other issues. Meanwhile, the back and forth argument about the actual salaries of the senators has been raging for some days now, while the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission RMAFC said each senator earns 1.6 million naira. A senator from Kano has said he earns 21 million naira monthly as a senator. The senators are defiant of what the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission has prescribed for them. It means they are in disobedience to the laws of the country that established the RMFC, which fixed the salaries, allowance and emoluments of public servants in Nigeria. In a world of business, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has vowed to end the queues for petroleum motor spirit, popularly called petrol, by Wednesday as the black market for PMS boomed on Sunday. NNPC also declared that it did not owe international oil traders $6.8 billion as claimed in some quarters, a development which some industries watchers describe as a major reason for the widespread PMS scarcity in Nigeria. But despite the national oil firm's assurance that the queues for petrol would clear this week, oil marketers said on Sunday that the loading of products at depots had yet to improve. Black marketers of petrol, who sold the commodity in jerry cans, took advantage of the situation as they dispensed PMS for as high as 1,200 naira to 1,500 naira per litre, depending on the area of purchase. This came as the sole importer of the commodity. NNPC blamed the petrol scarcity on evacuation challenges at PMS vessels. Meanwhile, NNPC is Nigeria's only importer of petrol. Other dealers stopped importing the commodity due to their inability to access the United States dollars required for petrol imports. The Chief Corporate Communication Officer of NNPC, Olufemi Soneyi, further said that the oil firm was working hard to tackle the fuel supply challenges, stressing that the queues should clear by midweek. On our foreign news, the US Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, has said now is probably the best, maybe the last opportunity to secure a ceasefire and hostage release deal in Gaza. Blinken made his comments during a meeting with Israeli President Isaac Herzog on Monday during his ninth trip to the region since the war began in October. The US has expressed optimism about a deal since talks resumed in Doha last week, but Hamas says suggestions of progress are an illusion, with differences said to include whether Israeli troops will be required to withdraw fully from Gaza as Hamas insists. Blinken is expected to maintain pressure on Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu when they met later on Monday. The current negotiations are based on a modified proposal presented by the US aimed at bridging long-standing gaps between Israel and Hamas. The Americans hope they can get the deal over the finish line perhaps as soon as this time next week. But that level of optimism is not shared by the Israeli leadership or Hamas. And finally, on our world of sports, Victor Osimhen is set to snub Chelsea and wait for long-term Paris Saint-Germain, who are now ready to make a final decision on his transfer. The Blues have been seeking the signature of the Nigerian international all Super Summer were initially rebuffed by Napoli, with the 2022-2023 Serie A championships insisting that his £113 million release clause must be paid in full. The 25-year-old is said to be ranking prominently on their wish list to lead their line during the 2024-2025 session. The Lagos-born is one of the most sought-after strikers in Europe, having been linked with moves to Chelsea, Arsenal, Paris Saint-Germain, Manchester United, and Liverpool, amongst others, following impressive seasons with Napoli. However, despite the departure of Kylian Mbappe to Real Madrid, PSG remained silent on their pursuit of Osimhen, being also reluctant to meet the hefty £133 million asking price for the striker, and were happy with Congolo, the duo Congalo Ramos and Randakolo Moan. Osimhen was believed to be keen to test himself in the Premier League after making a name for himself in Serie A with Napoli and in League One with Lille, whose rivals Paris Saint-Germain were formerly thought to be Chelsea's main contender. Now the recap on headlines. Warri monarch's third coronation anniversary begins. Bayelsa reacts to power towards destruction. Oyo APC chairman dies in US. Police raid NLC boards, hires forensic experts. There should be sanctions, says MFB president. NNPC battles deepening fuel scarcity as black market thrives. Ceasefire talk may be last chance to free hostages, says Blinken. Osimhen ready to snub Chelsea for French giant. Here is the news as edited by Emanuela Tamiola, and I am Queen Success Benjamin. Thanks for watching.